All right. Let's see what we're looking at. MBY is definitely getting some attention, almost to 100%, up 121. Had a little top right up here at around the 125 that it just found a little bit of resistance at. We're going to see if we can go ahead and push through that 125. Can we see those 125s on the tape? Looking at its daily chart. Yep, push through the 125s right there. Good morning, Donnell. MBY up 104%. Now the first thing looking like it's going to, or the first ticker that I've seen over 10 million for the day. Find anything else as well. Twink, CGC. Nothing else really cranking up like this one. And it's continuing to push up to the 130s. Looking at the ranges, it moved from about 60, well, Friday it was at 61 cents, moved over through the 80s, up to $1, and came back, tested the 90s, and now it's back up to $1.30 something cents. I was looking out here on the daily chart, and I was looking at previous possible supports, and I saw one down here at the 75s, but it's so far away from 75. If it gets back down there, it's gonna be too bearish. Another one at 90s again could be a try point right in here, the 90 level. And then further up, where was it? Like $1, right on $1. So I don't really know where it's gonna come back and test to. But pre-market is definitely getting up. Hopefully it doesn't do any kind of big dump. Let's look at the actual news on this thing. So Nova Bay Pharmaceuticals announces agreement with BioStem Technologies to commercialize amniotic, what? Am I reading? Yeah, amniotic tissue allograft as Avena or Avenova allograft. Okay, so they're a pharmaceutical company pushing on up there on Monday morning. We'll see the reaction from the people coming into this open. Good morning, Drifter. Looking over the list, top volume mover is, well, top volume and top percent gainer on the day is MBY, up 121%. It's a pharmaceutical company. They got an agreement with some other technology company, BioStem, which I they're working with if it's amniotic cells, it's got to be like fetuses or amniotic tissue rather. Let's see, CRNX, Krenix Pharmaceuticals. We got a couple of pharmaceutical companies up today. What is this one up for? Pharmaceutical shares rise as analysts raise the price target. So that's just a raising a price target. And I think did they get bought out? Nope. They are working on, says a late stage trial of hormonal disorder drug met primary and secondary endpoints. Okay. Twinkies got bought out by Smuckers. So if you're a Twinkies fan or Smuckers fan, there's a stock for you. Let's see. PSTV, we saw this one last week. It just dumped. It just absolutely dumped. So when I saw it last week, I said, we've seen it do this move at this area before. And I was like, hey, I wonder, is it going to repeat the pattern of this little thing? Well, turns out it didn't only do this, it doubled that down. So from the 317, it went all the way down to the 138s. VRAX, 39 cents. BLRX. All right, so NBY pulling back to this 125 level. So that's looking like it's becoming that point where it needs to either hold or, you know, make a decision. 125. SPY is looking like it's wanting to get back up to the 450s. If not only for a test, you know, it may actually even hold up here. Over the weekend, I read and I was looking through the news and all of that stuff, and energy looks like it's going to be doing well in the upcoming weeks and whatever. I'm gonna be checking in on my positions after today, see where they are and if I want to get any new energy stocks. And I'm probably gonna look back over at uranium as well. I haven't looked at that in a while. It's just been kind of sitting over there floating. But my thing is the thoughts on uranium. So we know this last year has been probably, well, we had the hottest day globally this year, and you know, I think they're going to be taking more precautions as more of these fires are taken off. You know, we had a fire in California, what, 2 years ago or something. I forgot what it was, and they blamed PG and or PC, PE and G, Pacific Energy and Gas for that one. And then we had the fire in Hawaii, which they blamed the electric company there, which is HE. And then all these fires are coming and all this. And I'm like, the earth is warming up. We're still burning fossil fuels like crazy. There's got to be probably at some point some initiative to either go to nuclear, to go more to natural gas, to kind of fade into some other type of energy, because this past year has been unnaturally hot, if that makes sense. It's been like, you know, this is a different level of heat. across the globe. So I just wanted to see how they will react to that. If oil does peter out and something else new comes up, I want to definitely have my little toes in it. But, just thinking about the future swings, future investments. Okay, NBY coming on down. 125 did look like it's holding it there. Twink. What else we got? Something else got DLRX. Not looking great. Wow. Apple is up to 180. So it's right up here on its top. Has a little bit of a gap fill here up to the 182s. Only at 1%. Not really receiving a whole lot of action there. It's the news on it. Apple's value plummets 190 billion. Qualcomm to supply Snapdragon 5G models for iPhones. NIO, let's look at that chart. Kind of same setup there, a little gap down. It popped up, not as much though. This gap fill is at the 146. Probably the lower average true range. Nvidia up to 462, closed last week at 455, up $10. Good morning, Lori. Looking for something to kind of catch the eye. CGC, Twink. All right, so we made it back to the top of the list. MBY still floating around here. I was thinking MBY would have a I was thinking MBY, I really don't know how this range is going to be out of the open, but it has some pretty good candles here from 70 all the way up to $1.20, and then we had a smaller little check down to 90, back up to $1. So about a 10-cent check up, then 92 up to $1.12, $1 up to $1.20. So about 10-cent moves in here. It may give, 3-4 cent winner, maybe, if you get a nice dip, but I don't know where this thing wants to do it. It did make a high topping tail there. It's 8:15 now. Just opened up that new 15-minute candle, floating at the 115s. And if it comes back down here to the 80s, I'm really not interested. Doesn't have any kind of strong, bounce point that I'm seeing. Maybe the 90s, if it can hold the 90s, could be a spot to get like 2 or 3 cents, but it's just such a small little gain. You have to be very, very precise with that one. No, that's the wrong thing. CRNX. Coming on down 110s, 120s. And I'm thinking it needs to hold these 90s if it's going to hold anything. But we haven't even seen the open yet. $3 million shares going into 14 million shares. Here's in a second. Going back down towards $1. The only thing that I'm thinking, the only thing that I try not to think about is I try to keep a pretty bullish mindset that this thing could go up, but I definitely want to be aware of all of its technicalities. Let's go look at this thing, MBY. Nova Bay Pharmaceuticals Inc., a biopharmaceutical company, develops and sells eye care, skincare, and wound care products in the United States and internationally. It offers Aveeno spray or Avenova spray, a solution for removing foreign materials, including microorganisms and debris from skin around the eye, such as the eyelid and wound care products, which are used for cleansing and irrigation as part of surgical procedures, as well as treating certain wounds, burns, ulcers, and other injuries under the Neutral Phase and Neutral One brands. All right. So a lot of dealing with the eyes and the skin, health and welfare. It was incorporated, or wait a minute, NovaCal Pharmaceuticals Inc. was they changed their name to Nova Bay Pharmaceuticals Inc. in February 2007. Yeah. How powerful will their skin stuff be, huh? NBY. No shelf registrations. But we definitely know 125 was that hit point that kind of, it found some real resistance there. We look on the level 2s here. We can definitely see a pretty stacked list on the bids, right? All the way down to $1. But looking at this, there's no real abnormal positions out here. You know, 28,000 with a stock this cheap, that's not a huge position. But we start seeing 100 something thousand, that would definitely be like, oh, somebody's big right there. I do not see anything like that, or even 50,000. I see 30s out here. 35, 29. I want to look for something abnormal. Of course, we talked about Twinkie getting bought out by Smuckers. Got about 10 minutes to the bell. 2015. SPY continued to lift out of there. I'm wondering on the open, can it get over this 448.32 and really start getting back bullish? It's had a couple of days to kind of swoop down and give some people some entries. And of course, we've seen the drops on things like Nvidia and some of the big tech stocks. They've definitely been in a dip. So we'll see this reaction at the beginning of the week. Let's get it. Let's get it. It always seems like on mornings like this, and sometimes when there's not a real excitement, when you're looking at the information that the market is showing you, it's kind of best to just, if you're not sure, or if you're not already in something that's already up, some of the excitement is kind of missing. You know, a lot of times when I'm looking, I'm like, it's already going, things are moving, things that, last week were low, they've gapped up, and to participate in those late, is it going to be worth it? Am I going to be able to implement some kind of risk management system? NBY coming back up here. It continues to try to hold this little VWAP. Hold around this 115-ish level. 6 minutes to the bell. We're going to see this true action. My question is, can it hold up the $1 basically? Because it's got down to the 90. Below this 90, I'm saying it's bearish. I'm just like, it may be a fader on the day, but we'll see how the reaction is right under this $1 and how fast it gets there. If it just gets clapped straight through the $1, straight through the 90, that's definitely going to be some bearish stuff. But if it chops around this 90 cents dollar, there may be something there. But not getting my hopes too high. Reliable called out ATHM gapping over last week's high. ATHM. ATHM, yep. Like I was saying, this is one of those where, hey, you're in, and whether you're in small or big, whatever your size is, of course you're up, Nice little gap up there. Reliable, have you been keeping up with the energy news? The energy news has been fantastic. They're trying to find some solutions for this crazy amount of heat we've been experiencing. Some cleaner solutions, rather. All right, so let's see. We got some people. Got a bunch of news here. Man narrowly avoids building collapse. See, all of this stuff is what I'm talking about. News, the events happening around the earth, all of these increased earthquakes, the heat, the lack of rain in some places, new dry places, new wet places. It's a shift that's going on. It's definitely a shift that's going on. UN calls for radical changes to slow warming. Yes. Climate change and crocodiles in Kenyan Lake. Crocodiles getting bigger and bigger as it gets hotter. Earth in uncharted waters as climate records tumble. South is rainier than the north as UK weather trend flips. Are tornadoes in the US getting worse? Of course they are. Of course they are. Morocco earthquake death toll rises to nearly 2,500. Mm-mm-mm. All right, we got about 2 minutes to the bell. Just flipping through, seeing how the world is trying to figure out some of the issues that it's going through. Let's see these reactions out of the open. Reliable Rudy says none of those news articles have any relevance. Yeah. To the regular person, they don't, I guess. The news is how you win long term. The trend is how you win short term. Figure out the trend, baby. The rumors, the small incremental information drops, all add into a larger picture for long-term winners. How good are you at painting that picture? Do you have the proper paintbrush or the proper canvas? So it's just now opening, looking at NBY. I'm expecting it to get on down, but it's right around the 115s. Looking on the hour chart. $117. Previous resistance was at 125. Let's see how it does at 125. First time getting me live. Oh man, appreciate it. Trail geared. Appreciate it. Yeah, I go live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Tuesdays and Thursdays I have of course what I do for a living. I'm into IT, I'm into security, um, and network engineering, and I take care of a lot of those projects and things in the morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Then Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I have a little bit of time in the morning to kind of review what the market is giving us. But yeah, We get her done. ATHM taking a little dip. All right, so we did get that resistance at the 125s that we saw there before, but this bar is not closed. I don't know if it's done with the 125 test. Has not made any new lows. The new low would be 106s down here during intraday. But as for now, still holding there in indecision. You said news does not win long term. How's that? I don't know, man. If news doesn't win long term, I don't know what does. I don't know how people know anything, you know? Now, news is not just like your local news coverage. News is the statistics, the research of different phenomenon in the world. It's not just like, oh, news channel, whatever. Some more people died in a car accident. No, not that news. If you're thinking about the general news, then nah. So NBY going back up there and testing that 125 very quickly, and again finding some resistance there. That time it got a full test of it. Yeah, when I think about news, I'm thinking about the actual in-depth research. The um I want to go read the papers. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean like the newspaper. I mean the actual research articles, all of that stuff, to get a better insight of these people that study this stuff for hours of the day. They do full dissertations on it. They got their freaking, it's their life's journey to find out more and to try to fix or provide a solution to a specific problem that I may not have my hands in all the time. The only issues that I'm really worried about is cyber issues, cyber security, IT, networking issues. So multiple tests of that 125 and multiple failures of that. Mm. See if we have anything else popping up here on the scans. We got CGC popping up over $1. Looking out here on the daily chart, looks like it is gapped up just a little bit from the 94s up here to the 104s. I think this is maybe a hemp type stock into marijuana. I'll slap that one up there. CGC up 21%. Tesla also making its way down. Anything else exploding upwards? EBET, Nikola, TQQ, SQQ. Yeah, I had just looked back over at the scans and I was like, hold on, what is all these color changes over here? All right, let's jump over there. So CGC, let's look at his daily chart actually first. See if we can spot any levels of contestment. It's definitely got a strong uptrend. Had a strong uptrend since the 29th of, this will be, what's this month? September, August. And we'll see how it ends up holding up this dollar here. Already showing a little bit of right around the 115 level is where it tried to touch again. Was not able to break any new highs there though. But let's see. Definitely getting some action. Has 21 million shares traded on it right now. It is definitely the most competitive behind NBY. both both averaging around $1 per share. What we got? 111. Continue to try to push the 200 moving averages up here at the 159s. It has a little bit of space. Let's look back on the chart a little bit on this daily chart and see anything interesting. It's been getting beat down for quite a while too. Beat down, beat down, beat down. Has a little bit of a gap fill up here at the 260s. That may be something that it tries to get to, but we'll have to see if it can. That's a long pump though, from $1 up to $2, especially with, let's look at this float. This float is a higher float, which means it could get choppy, especially on the intraday. Let me pull that up. CGC. Usually we're looking for floats, you know, below 20 million, 30 million in the float or something like that. Those are the ones that really get up and spicy. So we're looking at a float of 548.78 million. May be choppy for an intraday, but could be a further long-term play. One of the things we kind of go over, especially low float traders, it's about the speed at which it makes that range. You know, it can grind a $3 range and take 3 weeks to grind a $3 range, but the lower that float, the more ground it can cover between different, I guess, points. You know, if it can cover $2 in a day, you can capture a percentage of that move with the proper risk management. So it's definitely got a bigger float, 548 million in the float. And I didn't even show y'all that. I literally was on another screen, but this is, I would check it on Yahoo Finance, but I got multiple places where I can cross check it. FinViz, Market Watch, short interest, you know, all of these places where I kind of check and cross check, because sometimes the information isn't the same at these different places. Sometimes it's a huge misrepresentation of the data on certain sites. It'll be like one says it has a float of 4 million, then another one says it's got a float of 100 million. It's like, whoa, why is it such a big discrepancy? MBY ended up, is it halted down? Wow, I wasn't expecting that. That wasn't even a big move. 125, that's what, 25 cents? Is it a T1 halt? Let's go check. I check my halts over here at NASDAQtrader.com. Okay, reasons. So it definitely halted for some reason, but it's just got an M there. Usually LUDP is just volume, and then T1, T2, T3 is what you don't want to see, but it's got an M there. We'll see if it comes out with something. Should be a regular 5-minute halt though. CGC also pumping down. Again, this one's probably going to be choppy on the day. CRNX was one that we saw it got a price target upgrade. It's up 78% right now. Popping those highs. And the thing that I've learned, even with trading, sometimes, and reliable has to bring me back down to ground level. Sometimes Reliable Rudy, he has a channel as well. He does portfolio building, long-term portfolio building and things, and he goes through a lot of the financial documents. But sometimes the news and all of this news does matter, and sometimes it just doesn't. It's crazy how the market works. Sometimes it's like, this thing has no news, but it's up 300, 400%. Why? And since I'm a big why person, that leaves me in indecision. I'm like, okay, where do I trade? This thing has no levels. It's just ripping. How do I trade this? And that's where strategy comes in. If you have a strategy just to be trading something that's going up, even if it has no reason, you can be profitable because there's opportunity there. But you have some other traders like me. I'm a why person. Why is this thing going up? Is this thing dealing with breast cancer? Is this thing, what is the actual catalyst? You know? So different traders have different outlooks on the market as well, based on different criteria, I guess you can say. MBY opened up, coming down here and touching the dollar, starting to look real bearish, down 13%, 14% on the day now. MBY PSTV. We saw this one last week. PSTV absolutely dumped Friday from the 376 down here to the 133s, and now it's playing around right under the $2 on PSTV. Now this one does have a pattern of this, so let me flip over here to it. On the daily chart, we saw it dump here from the 320-ish area once before, got beat down through this level, got up here, found a little bit of resistance, dumped, and then recovered. And this one dumped like almost triple the amount down to the downside, and it's popping back up. But I'm looking at the explosive candle here. This big red candle is a lot of sellers, or you can look at it as a lot of bag holders, right? People that got in for the rip through this 318 and got absolutely dumped on. And I'm just thinking this is going to be bearish. I mean, it could be a crazy market where it jumps back up here, but with a big explosion candle like this, the size of the candle does matter. Definitely. So, because it's an indication of the sentiment of the people at that point. That's why we look for huge rippers. If something's up 100 something percent, you know, you're not trying to get another 100%. You're just trying to capture some of the move, you know, 10% of the move or something like that, 5% of the move. Because it's very rare, especially with low flows, that they continue up. But sometimes it happens and they continue up a lot and be up 1,000%. You're like, oh my gosh, I missed, you know, whatever. All right, so we're coming back under $1 on MBY. I was thinking under 90 cents is going to be bearish on the day, and it's creeping towards that 90 cents, down 16% on the day. We got SOX. What is going on over here? SOXS, huge candle. Looking on a daily chart, it looks like it's trying to go for a breakout over the 1033s on SOXS. Let's see if we can find any other setups. SQQ. What's the SPY doing? SPY is, ooh, oil going on up, man. I've been in oil. Let's go. Then again, it's not gonna be good at the pumps, but it'll be good for my wallet. Let's go. Oil getting over 88. Love it. Keep going. The SPY went up there and touched, what did it touch? It looks like it's gonna be another breakout. Oh no, this is a different chart. All right, the SPY is actually red on the day. Got up there and touched this. Now, this is where I was looking last week for it to start to test some of these levels. It looks like I pretty much mapped this out based on this day. The low here was the 443. The middle, or where the body of this candle started, was the 446, and then the top side. And it's tested every single part of this candle, and it's now becoming bearish. So I'm looking for the next leg down. It may get some bullishness, I don't really know, but based on this, I'm like, okay, you struggled on this day to get across this level, struggled on this day to get across the body, struggled on this day, and it's a lot of struggle. So I'm thinking it's going to be bearish, but we'll see what the SPY wants to do. The market is always can always go either way, but we have to have some kind of thesis, some kind of bias on the market to play in it. All right, MBY, CGC, Twinks. And this was the SOX that I was seeing over there. Taking a big old move up here over the 1034s. Only up 1% on a day, but still receiving quite a bit of volume. Almost a 10 million shares traded on that thing, up 5% since it's open. Take a look at the news on SOXS. Where are you? Okay. So this is a ETF Trust Daily Semiconductor. It's an ETF basically, but it's given 3 times leverage fund offers, and so it pretty much follows the tech companies. Anything that's got heavy semiconductor usage. So let me go check Nvidia, see where they're going. Nvidia is actually down on the day. Is this thing a reverse? Nope. It should be following. Bearish on the semiconductor following MD. Okay. Nvidia taking quite a bit of a move down here from the 460s down to the 447s, almost a $20 drop. Let's go check Tesla. Tesla not looking as bad. What else is considered a tech stock? I guess you could consider Amazon a little bit of a tech stock because they have AWS platforms. And it's actually green on the day, pushing up. I know Donnell had got him a nice trade on Amazon last week. Usually Donnell is a low flow trader, but he put his sandals on and, you know, took a walk back up to the larger caps and got him a nice winner on Amazon. CGC continue to pump up, but I don't know how much range that thing's gonna give. And NBY was the biggest low flow on the day. Still got 34 million on the board. It's taking a little, trying to pause here at the 90, but with this bearishness and being down almost 20% on the day, a reversal could happen, but I don't know. With this price range, it doesn't really hold its levels like you would expect something that's $5 or $6 or $7. What is this one? Avantex. It's $25 up 27%. AVTA. Look into that. Oh, that's not even moving. I don't like that. Okay. So as of now, not seeing a whole lot that's exciting me on an intraday basis, but I do like that oil is trying to get over that 88, going towards 90. I've been calling oil for like 4 months. I've been like, hey, I'm gonna play this going towards the winter time because it has been, first of all, looking at the heat, the new heat index, the new heatings that we've seen this summer and this year, how hot it's been. They got to do something different to slow the warming down. We've seen more earthquakes, more dangerous tornadoes, bigger crocodiles, all this all this crazy stuff. We gotta do something. We gotta do something. Insane things going on. But it's all good. Let's see. PLTR long, not a half bad trade. Let me look at what you got there. PLTR. 1565. I'm guessing you probably took it somewhere like 1550s or something like that. And it's going towards that top there. How many? Wait. Got about 8 million shares traded on it. You're right. It does not look horrible. PLTR. Palantir. Going up there, breaking over this high here of the 1561. 8 million shares traded on that thing. Tesla also coming up here has a breakout of the 264. The only thing is, I wouldn't consider this a breakout because how flat it's been. The possibility of it just staying flat like this for the day is pretty high, you know, unless the SPY really gets going. But the SPY came back down a bit, so we'll see. Usually tech stocks or larger cap stocks and those have those higher deltas that make them more dependent on the market, what the overall market is doing, especially when they don't have catalysts on the day. But yeah, PLTR, what's your exits? What's your exit strat? Or is this going to be a swing trade or a longer term hold for you on PLTR? Look out here. It had a little bit of a gap down. What, 1634 is up here, and then a gap down, and it had retested this level up here very quickly. Almost looks like a low float move right there in the pre-market. But 1637. Let me look at the actual chart over here. PLTR. Definitely been uptrending. If we look on the daily chart, got beat down, and then hit a low here of the 584s and has a little bit of a trend here. So let's see. So this is the low. Whoops. I cannot wait until this October. Street Smart Edge, Charles Schwab is supposed to start integrating TOS, TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim, with their Street Smart Edge application and kind of integrating. Oh, that's gonna be sweet. I can't wait. Couple of things that I want to see. I definitely want to see the multi-chart drawing. So like, let's say on TOS, if I draw on one chart, that drawing is on all the charts. I would love to have that on Street Smart Edge. The other thing is, what was the other thing? The accuracy of the charting as well. Sometimes there's inaccuracies between them. Like this chart will look different from the Street Smart Edge chart for a couple of hours, and then they'll kind of sync up. They'll start looking alike. I'd love for that to stop happening. That's why I run both of them, so I can see the differences of what different people. If the people are strictly using TOS, they're not seeing this. If they're strictly using Street Smart Edge, they're not seeing that. So I use both just to kind of cross pollinate, I guess, the idea. But yeah, PLTR definitely on a nice uptrend. Took a gap up, has been moving up here, hit a topping area around $20. Looks like it wants to go for another push. But definitely not a bad play there. Not a long-term hold. I'm not in the name. Just saying I thought it looked decent. Oh, nice. Okay. And also, the other thing that I love about TOS is the think script. I love writing scripts, creating different scans, just creating different, mechanisms for analyzing the market. If I could do that in Street Smart Edge, oh man, that would be amazing. The only thing that I don't like about TOS, Street Smart Edge is going to give you real time data no matter what. There's no hiccups, no kind of crazy kind of glitches and things like that. All the times that I've seen TOS do any kind of glitch or something, I go over here on Street Smart Edge, there's no problems. So I'm like, I really would like them to fix their real time data. But since they're on their old system and still using all the dinosaur mechanisms, getting that live data just doesn't happen on TOS sometimes. And actually, you can, if you run both of them beside each other, you'll see what I mean. Uh, Street Smart Edge's volume, you see their volume at like, I don't know, you'll see their volume at like 15 million, and TOS's volume for the same ticker will still be at like 10 million. I'm like, wait a minute, why is this thing 5 million behind? Why is this? And I know what you're gonna say. Well, you don't have the real time data on. Yes, I do. It's on. I tested it. Yeah, I know. I know on TOS. And wow, look at MBY. This is MBY. MBY gave up the 90s, and I was thinking if it gets past that 90, it's gonna be bearish. I'm not touching that. I don't care if it's low float or whatnot. Almost 40 million shares traded and dumping down, down 28% on the day. Anyway, I'm about to go. SOX continue to move, continue to push up as well over these highs. But I'm about to go to my morning meeting. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll be back on Wednesday. And usually the only reason that I wouldn't be back is if I have a power outage or some kind of huge issue comes up in a network that I have to go and take care of. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna be here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we'll see what that brings. I do trade on Tuesdays and Thursdays, even though I'm busy. Sometimes I try to pull back from doing that because I'm handling other things, and I'm just not in a trading mindset. And sometimes I'm just sitting down, brain fried from working, and I'm like, okay, what looks good? Bye. But yeah, a lot of times on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I continue building out my dividend portfolios, do more research doing that because those things have been a blessing. I don't know if y'all have touched dividends or have looked into them, but yeah, that's definitely some profit there. Getting into some dividends, monthly profit, quarterly profit, and all of that. Anyway, reliable. I don't know if he's going to be streaming today. He may be streaming. You can go and check his channel out. He trades day trades, swing trades. He does all of that, builds portfolios and all of that. He can drop a link to his video. But yeah, I'm about to get out of here. Appreciate you guys once again. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.